Matt, firstly, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. We just wanted to start with, what made you want to get involved with AFC Bournemouth as a football club?
I first was introduced to Bournemouth through Trevor Watkins years ago. My kids immediately became Cherries fans, and we've watched their progress over the last few seasons with incredible pride and excitement. And so it's certainly a dream come true for us to see the success and to be a part of it.
Could you quite believe what you saw happening here? Because it's been quite incredible, hasn't it?
It has. In America there's a lot of Cinderella stories. And as an American who's interested in football and English football in particular, to see this, it's been incredible, and it's a perfect fit for us.
I know that there'd been discussions going on for a couple of years between yourself and the club, but if I could just take you back and you could tell me how your paths first crossed. You mentioned Trevor there, and how we kind of got to this stage and you invested in the club.
We've been interested in investing in football for some time. We like a lot of the great things that are going on in English football, and particularly in the Premier League, and we feel like the opportunity is great. The sport is growing. It's on in the U.S. now on a regular basis every Saturday, and so the viewership is enjoying huge success and growth. And when Bournemouth promoted, it was just the perfect scenario, because we always wanted to be involved in a Premier League team, and it was the perfect team for us. We were already fans.
We know you have an incredibly successful business. What will your investment bring to AFC Bournemouth?
I think, so far I've brought us some pretty good success, because since I've invested, we've had probably one of the best, if not the best, record in the Premier League. So I don't want to say that was all me, but I think I have a knack for being lucky, which is helpful. But the other thing is we bring additional funds, clearly, which is what I think everybody wants and is needed in order to continue to be successful.
You have a sporting background, mainly in ice hockey. You kind of touched upon it, but what was it about football? Why did you want to invest in football so much?
I think the thing that interests us in hockey and football are very similar in that there's a lot more language. There's not specific events like in, say, golf or cricket or boxing, or where football's a team game. There's 11 players on the pitch. There's 6 players on the ice in hockey, and things change. So we've liked both of those and the similarities there. I think the excitement of football is also the idea that you can be promoted or relegated, which we don't get in other sports, particularly in the U.S.
We've had lots of attention from America since we got promoted. What's the feeling like about AFC Bournemouth over there? I'm sure, what have you gauged? What do people think about us?
AFC Bournemouth is America's team, and they will be going forward.
Is that to do with the Cinderella story kind of things? They love an underdog?
I think it's largely because of that. I think also Americans haven't, the Premier League is being adopted quickly in the U.S., and everybody's got an available, the availability to root for or cheer on a different franchise is there. It's not like there's some history where people grew up in a certain town. And if you think about who's playing exciting football, AFC Bournemouth is playing the most exciting football in the Premier League, and so it's just going to be the one that everybody's going to gravitate towards.
And Eddie Howe, he's regarded as one of England's brightest young managers at the moment. Have you had much to do with him, or what do you make of him and the job he's done?
I think he is the brightest manager. We've got the best manager in the league, and that's clear. And the great thing is he's here for a long time. He's from here. He loves it here. He's not going anywhere. Everybody would love to have him, but he's not going anywhere, and that's the best thing you could have as a Bournemouth fan.
That'll be music to every Bournemouth fan's ears, I'm sure. You're over here now for the West Ham game. As we're speaking now, it's just before the West Ham game.
Yes.
And I know you're set to travel off again tomorrow morning. How often do you get over here, or how do you kind of follow the games? I know they're quite accessible over in America.
Yeah, we watch every game on TV, and that's been great. We'd like to get to more games, and so our goal is to get over here as often as we can to see the games live and be with the fans and the team. But if we can't make it here, we're going to watch on TV.
And the January transfer window so far, I imagine that's one that you're obviously heavily involved in. It's been a successful one so far.
Yeah, look, I think we got to be happy. The people who we targeted, we got. And everybody on our list, we got. And So when you get what you want in sports, you got to be happy with that. And I think we got the 3 best people for our needs going forward. So I expect good things from us for the rest of the year.
Maxim said when we announced your investment that he thought you'd bring long-term success to this club. How long do you see your kind of investment or your involvement lasting with this club?
I think we're going to be in this club a long time. I'd like to see us win the Premier League, and then I think we'll probably reassess after we do that.
Once again, music to Bournemouth fans' ears, I'm sure. This club has grown massively in the last few years, beyond everyone's wildest expectations. You've kind of touched upon it then, but how far do you think this club has the potential to go?
I'd say this club could go as far as it wants to. One of the great things that's happened in English football is that the way the Premier League is structured, the teams share the revenues. And so all of a sudden now, a team like, say, Manchester United can't outspend us 10 to 1 or 20 to 1. And so when we go on the pitch against them, it's a much more competitive game, as we showed because we beat them, which wouldn't have been possible, say, 10 years ago or 15 years ago for sure. So how good can Bournemouth be? My expectations are a lot higher.
Sounds like you share a lot of the kind of same ideas and qualities as Jeff and Neil from speaking to them. But one thing that really stands out to me is you sound really ambitious.
I am ambitious, and the great thing is my partner Max is equally ambitious. I don't know whether he would rather win the Champions League or the Premier League, but for sure one of those two would be his ambition, as mine.
Sure sounds like an exciting time to be involved with this football club.
It's great. It couldn't be better.